happening? I guess. Right. Can you hear me? Put your thumbs up, please, or your. What's up, Danny from Miami? How you doing, man? All right. All right. So, oh, let me pin this on. Okay. We are. Boom. All right. You know it's Tuesday. It's time to learn. Time to be taught. And I'm saying that somebody's going to be teaching me, hopefully on here as well, and going to be learning from me. So, all right. So today, it is Power Talk Day, and I am power talking with Mr. Manuel Suarez and Benefit CEO. I'm going to get right into it. I think everybody's in the room already. We're going to get this cracking really quick. Let's see here. All right, let me give you. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about Manuel Suarez right now. I'm going to read his bio right now. I hate to do it when they are on. Let me just make sure that he's in the room, though. He's in there. All right, so I'm going to read his bio right now. So he launched his own brand with no business background or training. Within a year, it became a multi-million-dollar company because of his study and applications of social media advertising. This is why it's going to be extremely important for everybody about social media advertising. And he sold it a few months later. Having an exit in that amount of time is phenomenal, very rarely heard of. Helped his father take his own company from making $2 million in revenue in one country to making $40 million in 8 countries in just 4 years. That sounds like the Gary Vee story when he took over his dad's wine business. Started taking on clients. Emmanuel started taking on clients and has helped generate over 2 billion views across different channels and helped generate millions of followers. Started his own agency, Attention Grabbing Media. I'm going to call it AGM from this point on, with his own course on social media marketing, and AGM has since been named ManyChat's 2020 top performing agencies, but we have them here today for free. All right, generated $100 million and a million leads in 2020 alone using digital marketing strategies. Current relationship with my company, the Shark Group. He and my team of digital marketing joined up because of his efforts to show how valuable they are, and I teamed up with him to create an affordable solution to your marketing agencies. We will get to that later. If you want to write it down right now, it's agmagency.com/shark for more info. But more importantly, let's get to what we can pick from him right now to for you to add to your artillery.
Waiting for Manuel. Here we go. What's up, man?
Hey, Damon. How's it going, man?
Good seeing you again. How you been?
Oh, it's been great. By the way, your audio was off, but now that we're sharing, it was muffled. But now that we're sharing the
What?
screen, I can hear you well.
Okay. Everybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me as well, because I know he can hear me, but I don't want to make sure that everybody else can. If not, I'll take it off and I'll put it on the hard wire.
Yeah, I think that it fixed it. For some reason, once you shared the screen and we are splitting now, the sound is perfect now, but it wasn't there. But
Okay.
we're good
So
now.
do you think everybody got what I said about you?
I'm looking at the comments. I was able, we were able to hear you, Damon, if you want to repeat a little bit, but it was very light and people were complaining
You know
about
what?
it.
Basically, I will repeat, and I'm not going to repeat the whole thing. Basically, at the end of the day, you started off a business with no knowledge of social media. Boom, you blew that business up, and in a short period of time, you sold it. You had an exit. Then all of a sudden, you help your father, who had a $2 million revenue business in one country, take it to $40 million in 8 countries. And then you open up your own agency, which it's called Attention Grabbing Media. We're going to call it AGM. We started working with you. You have a lot of great tips. We have something we're doing together. I'll drop that in now, but right now, of course, I want people to know what they can learn from for free right now. take it away, even though our product together is extremely, extremely affordable. You can go to agmagency.com/shark to get that. But I want to go right now on what we can get from you right now. So I got a couple of questions here that I put down as I was thinking about it. Like I said in your intro, you generated $100 million and millions of leads in 2020 just by using digital marketing, though. Can you share some of the strategies that you used with people today?
You know, Daymond, by the way, if anybody wants to remember the website, it's easier, sharkagm.com. We have done, it's easier to remember for anybody that wants to check out what Daymond and I have.
Okay, so you have another one, sharkagm.com.
Yeah, it's the same one. It's going to take you to the same place. Might be a little bit easier to remember. That's it, sharkagm.com. That's right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but anyways, Daymond, you and I met, and we had an Instagram live in, I believe it was May 2020, last year, in the middle of COVID, and you were asking me where I was. I was in the middle of an empty office because over here it was still a ghost town, but now this is another empty office, but this one is because this one is being built right now, and we're like in the middle of the construction here. This is a future AGM marketing offices over here. We're excited about that, but anyways, there's a lot of strategies that we're incorporating right now in 2021. Can you hear that sound in the back? Somebody decided to do their lawn right now. Can you hear that?
Don't worry about it. It's not interfering in the broadcast.
Okay, great. So many opportunities. 2020 was a really good year for a lot of companies, and it was a terrible year for a lot of companies. So it really depends on what side of the equation you were. I have been doing digital marketing for probably about 8 years now, and I have seen the uptrend that digital marketing has had every single year. But what happened in 2020 was a massive acceleration. I believe that we accomplished digital marketing wise in 1 year what would have taken us maybe 5 years. If you look at e-commerce, how it took over, we had stories left and right. I have one of my businesses.
Okay, but let's dig deep into what did you do so that so people here can walk away with it. Because I definitely, as you know from digital marketing, whether you're sending out something briefly and somebody's swiping or whether you're talking, they're not making more attention these days. So let's get narrow and deep on it.
Right. So the main thing, Daymond, that a lot of people don't know about is that when you're doing content on social media, like you and I right now, we're on Instagram Live, Facebook, on Instagram, you do stories, or wherever you go, there's a digital footprint that is left behind, and this is where you can capitalize on. So on 2020, a lot more people paid attention to social media, a lot more eyeballs got in there, and then we had greater ability to reach people, and that led me to build bigger and bigger audiences. The one thing that we do a lot here at AGM is that we build a journey in which we start with content, like, for example, somebody like Daymond John, or personal brand, or an individual e-commerce brand that has a mission, a statement, something to accomplish. We build a storyline for them. We get that content out there. We distribute it on all these social media channels, and then we start building a sequence of steps on these for these.
But
people.
what if a person at home right now just can't, and they need to know it, because I always preach that you need to know a little bit about what you're doing, because then how do I know if AGM is doing the right thing for me? I mean, listen, obviously you and I are not talking because you do the wrong thing. You do great things, but sometimes people have that small budget, right? They got little to no money, and they say, you know what, I need to do it myself. And then when I go over to you, I'll either know if you're doing a great job or a bad job. What can they do right now themselves before meeting you to put out that content on a smaller level? Because, like, if you're saying we leave a digital footprint afterwards, well, the stat that I shared yesterday, and I'm sure you know all this way better than I do, is that such a low percentage of people actually go Facebook Live, or but however, a lot of people, it gains more attention. So right now, what can somebody do to start that digital footprint like you're talking about?
Right. So there's combination of, there's two things that need to get done. You got to have your content strategy. How are you going to change the world? How are you going to make the world a better place? What is your mission? How can you make somebody else's life better somehow? Once you have that figured out, then you pick omnipresent channels, and you want to be everywhere, right? And every single platform that gives you an opportunity. And then you start going in that routine, Daymond, of posting a lot of content. That's very different to maybe coming to me now and saying, look, I got all this content going on and I'm posting all over the place, but I still not getting anybody to convert. I'm not getting anybody to the website. I'm not getting anybody to give me their information. That goes in line with the next step, which is more like along the lines of distribution. How do you get these people to become now more your subscribers? How do you get them to become your customers? That's another step down the journey. If you don't have the content going as a first step, your videos, your images, your graphics, your articles, your podcasts, and all these things, you're not going to have enough people to get towards your next step, which is getting these people into your funnels, into your sequences, your flows, your email lists, and all these places where you actually get people to take action with your and your brand. It just becomes that much easier when you can have a brand that already is doing content, and now they come to me and they say, Manuel, Daymond, I already got a lot of content going on. I need to get sales, because without sales, I cannot pay the rent. And then we help them map out the funnels for them to be able to get these sales from the content that they have rolling out on social media.
Right. So where is the starting ground and the middle ground, right? Because there's always I'm putting out a lot of content, but man, I'm afraid to ask for a sale. I'm afraid to ask for this and that. So, a lot of times I'll talk to salespeople and I'll say, as a salesperson, a lot of times when you're in the room or whatever the case is, you just forget to ask at the end to close the deal. Now that's one side when I'm talking to salespeople. On the other side, and I'm not talking on both sides of my mouth, there's got to be a balance. You can also go with the idea of, man, every time you talk to me, you're trying to sell me. I don't want to buy from you like that. So where's that middle ground where you're sharing enough content where it is attracting people? However, they're not getting sales fatigue, because every 2 minutes you're like, buy something, right? It's the chicken in the mall, the little chicken in the toothpicks that everybody walks by. You go, nom, 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 and then all of a sudden you buy. So what's that middle ground? And I'm not sure maybe you have factors. Do you ask people, hey, I've given you all this content. Is there something else you need from me? What do you do to then know that you're not being too persistent or you're not being too scared?
That's a great question right there, Daymond. And for example, if you look at somebody like yourself, that you're putting content and value all day long, the ones that we actually get to convert on Daymond on-demand products and get to that next level is the ones that have gotten your value along the way. So what is the middle ground? There's an old saying in marketing that says that somebody has to see your face at least 7 times before they buy something from you. So it's just about putting that value first. So what I would do is that I would invest money, advertising dollars, in getting people to see you, because platforms like Facebook and Instagram will not give you free traffic like that. Yes, you can build traffic along the years and over the months if you do it consistently and you have strategies like hashtagging and other things. But generally, you need to invest money for a guaranteed negative return on investment, meaning that you're investing advertising dollars. And I'm telling you, Daymond, this is exactly the path that I built a few times. I have gotten people like my father. I know you mentioned a little bit on that story. We went from $6 million to $10 million to $25 million last year in revenue. The way that we did that was that we got this guy to put a lot of videos out there, and then we invested advertising dollars in getting these videos that don't make any offers out there into the world and building these digital audiences. So when I was getting enough of these audiences, I'm talking about, Daymond, if you go, I'm going to give people something very practical. If you go to business.facebook.com and you have your ad account set up and your page is connected, you can go to the drop-down menu and go to audiences. Audiences allows you to create audiences of people that are engaging with your Facebook page, watching your videos, visiting your website, engaging with your Instagram profile, watching your Instagram TV videos, watching Instagram lives, all that stuff. You can create these audiences there. When you do that, you realize the potential of just providing this value first and literally having a campaign that has a guaranteed negative return on investment. Let's say that I do, just to answer your question.
Well, hold on. I want to elaborate, because some people may be new to it, some people may not be, right? So I'm going to look at this this picture, right, that I put up of my mother, myself, and Barbara, right? If I go to view insights, it'll show you that, and a lot of people don't realize that, it'll show you that it reached 138,000 people. Only. I have 1.2 million people on this platform. So it shows that, and a lot of people don't realize that they think that once they post something, it just hit all the followers. But I hate to break it to them, you know, social media platforms are into making a profit. So, and once people start to understand this, they'll get it that, you know, social media says, well, I'm not only going to take from big companies, but if I get 1 billion people to give me $10 a piece just to push their post out, well, aha, right? You do the number, right? $10 billion. So to reach more people than this, if you have a good post that you feel that is converting, so let's say this one, traditionally, I noticed that it's performing better than most of my posts for free, right? Then I go, holy, wait a minute. So that one's performing better than most. Maybe I need to put $10 or $20 if that's something. Now, this one is just me talking about how much I love Barbara, how much I love women, how much I love my mother. But if this one was talking about a better way to exercise that you do, or your nutrition, or how you're taking care of the skin where you're not putting poisons in it, and you put more and more and more, what happens is, and I'm breaking down simplistic for the people who are watching, they go, wait a minute. So now every time I put $100 there, I sell $200 worth of products. So if I put $1,000, I'll sell $2,000. Wait a minute, so anyway, that a lot of people don't understand about that. So go ahead further in it, because sometimes you're too close to it. I'm breaking it down like a layman, like I like the
I
layman.
love it.
Like to break it down.
I love it. That's the way it is. That's exactly how Daymond describes it, the way it is. Social media is out there for a profit. So you got to realize that. That's how they grow. Some people don't understand that Facebook's users or Instagram's users are not the clients. They are just the asset. And we are the clients, the ones that are advertising. So we got to pay to play on the platform. And a follower, somebody that follows the Instagram profile or your Facebook page, is nothing but a top of the funnel initial commitment that means absolutely nothing except that there's a potential interest there. So that's where marketing comes in. You get your content going, you're great at it, you do your videos and your images and your graphics and your articles and all of it, but now you're going to only reach a small percentage of them. And let me tell you, Daymond, 10% on that post reach, it's a lot. It's pretty darn good.
Because usually it's like 4 or 5%. So it must have been that some people liked it and shared it, but that's actually fairly low.
Yeah, so usually you're gonna get like 2% on Facebook. I mean, Daymond, you might have like 700,000 followers on Facebook, and you put a post, and for some reason it reaches like 50,000 people, 40,000. It's just the way it is, right? So you want to make sure that you are responsible for continuing the conversation with these followers. It's not going to be Facebook's or Instagram's responsibility. It is your responsibility. So that's why my recommendation to anybody that wants to go down that journey is to build these audiences and invest advertising dollars on getting these people to continue to engage with you, and they don't forget. I don't know if you've heard about this, Daymond, but there was a research done in 2020 about people that follow a Facebook page or like a Facebook page. 95% of them, after they follow it, never come back to your Facebook page, which tells you the importance of building that community and you putting your own energy and your own marketing to continue the conversation with these people beyond that initial follow or like, because it is an initial commitment that they've given you. It's like they liked it. Doesn't mean that they're going to give you money. No, it's an initial indication that they might be interested in your message and what you have to offer.
Got it. So, all right. So let me ask and when you say invest, I don't want people to be afraid of this. You know, invest could be $100, it could be $200. I mean, I always say use the power of broke. Don't sit there and just throw all this money at stuff. So what do you start to do? Do you start to initially look at your content and say, does it make more sense on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn? Because you end up putting $50 on each one and saying, okay, wait a minute. It looks like the business community is understanding this more. Or do you change the message too? It's the same video, but on Instagram, you are saying, hey, these paper towels are amazing and they can soak up everything and it's a great cost. On Facebook, are you saying how many do you have in your family? Because you're as a family person, you probably need more. And in on, I don't know, what's the other one? LinkedIn, you're saying this is commercial grade. So if you're at the office, you know what I mean? You're not going to go through too many. So is it that you, or do you put the same one on all three and you say which one works? Is there any right answer to that?
It depends on your product, Damon, like you were describing. For example, we have Shark AGM going on. Be qualified for an agency or advanced services, but then you go to LinkedIn and you have a lot of people there that it's going to cost you a lot more money to reach them, but they're going to be higher qualified. So it really does depend on what you're trying to accomplish. Facebook and Instagram are an absolute powerhouse, comparable to nothing when you want to talk about e-commerce. Or if you're going to generate leads for people that are going to be getting some kind of service, for example, accounting services, real estate services. If you have any kind of thing that you can service people, Facebook and Instagram will feed you leads all day long. And LinkedIn is like Daymond explained. If you're going to do some commercial products or something that it's more meant for corporate, nothing's gonna compete against LinkedIn in that particular example. And you can build audiences on both. Now, Facebook takes the cake, Daymond. Like when it comes to the advertising product, they're still way ahead of the game. Everybody's trying to catch up. So if you guys want to scale your e-commerce,
Why is Facebook way ahead of the game? Is it because people spend more time on there? Is it because I know that they have said that there are more female users and families on there, and a lot of times the female is the one dictating what is being purchased in the home, or what's being purchased in general, because she's probably no matter what, making the decisions for the whole family. Are they staying on there longer because there's a lot of family stuff on there and you're getting to see? I mean, what is the reason that Facebook is so much more prevalent and larger in that sense?
The number one reason is data. They have done a better job of acquiring data over the years. Of course, anybody that's in the marketing world, you've heard that there's changes coming up with Apple and iOS 14, that there's solutions for that. Apple is rolling out some changes in regards to the acquiring of that data, but they have more data than anybody else, which allows you to target people better. For example, let's say that you have a high-end product. Here's something very practical for all of you guys here. A product that sells for $100, $200, or whatever. On Facebook, you have something that you're not going to get access to on LinkedIn or any other platform. You can go after the top zip codes on the United States. So for example, if your product is $158, you can actually exclude from your targeting anybody that makes less than $40,000 a year, because chances are these people are not going to be as comfortable spending $150 on a product. But the other ones, if you go out to the top 10% income earners, these guys are going to be more likely to purchase your product.
You can't do that on other platforms as well.
They don't
even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, but they don't give you that same filter.
No. When I say Facebook, I mean the Facebook family of apps, Daymond. It's Facebook, Instagram. You have that data across.
All right. We're back, baby. We're back.
Yeah.
All right.
So Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, this world they share all that data. But if you go to LinkedIn, they're not there yet. So the
you can advertise like that on WhatsApp as well.
WhatsApp is it's opening up marketing. They opened up
another platform.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Daymond, we built your ManyChat bot, right? Like the Daymond John bot, which any of you guys, if you guys want to check it out, you go to m.me/thesharkdaymond, and you guys are going to get a ton of value from Daymond's bot, in which he educates people. That's Facebook Messenger. And yes, it has other opportunities, like it extracts phone numbers and emails, and it's to be integrated with ManyChat, which means that you're going to be able to create leads and generate subscribers and followers and all of it with WhatsApp, especially for people that are outside the country in the United States. WhatsApp is the #1 go-to chat app. So that's coming up, and I know ManyChat is working hard on that.
I got one last question. I'm sorry, I don't want to throw you off on this, and I want to then plug obviously what we're doing, because I know that hopefully you've added value to people and they can start off right now at home. a lot of people, I saw some people saying, well, $100 is a lot to advertise. Yeah, I know, you know, it is, but I started with $40 and look where I'm at now. So take the 100 and make it 40, but don't use that as any excuses because, you know, if you have an iPhone, you're on here right now, that costs way more than $100. You know, you should just, you know, obviously save money in different ways. But people talk about Pinterest, and I don't have any, I don't do anything with Pinterest. Are you aware at all? Because they say that's a really great place to lead people into your Facebooks and everything else. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that in a second, Damon. I want to say something about what you just said a second ago,
Sure,
because I think
sure.
it's important for everybody to know. It doesn't matter what is a lot for you. I can tell you, Damon started with 40. I started with 0. I have a digital agency with 80 staff, and all I invested was intellectual property. All I did was I had a cell phone and I searched videos on YouTube and I looked at Facebook and I consumed information and I stopped wasting my time on other things. So I consumed all that information up to a point in which I said, what can I do with this? Somebody presented themselves and they said, I have this product that I can sell on Amazon or whatever. And I said, well, I have this mind that has knowledge. Let's combine the powers. And I invested $0. And once I get to the point in which I was ready to help other companies, I didn't invest anything. All I did was like, you let me market you. I'm not going to charge you anything. All you got to do is pay for some advertising dollars, and I'm going to show you what I can do for you. And again, all of that was done without any single dollar in the equation. So just want to point that out, that there's no excuses here.
You don't got to tell me, because if I was broke right now, I'd go to any one of these stores that are closed with any kind of inventory that they may have been owned by a more mature, you know, couple who unfortunately maybe going through tough times. And I'd go in there on my goddamn phone and be like, I'm going to start putting this up on social media if you can. Just, you know, obviously this stuff is going to be not good for next season. Let me put it up now at a discounted rate. And I make 20%, and I help you move some of these damn goods so you can keep your livelihood. I know you have, I don't care where it is. I mean, listen, my buddy in Staten Island turned a junkyard into Hollywood props and things like that. And I'm like, it's a junkyard, but you go in there, there's big old train wheels and big anchors and a whole bunch. It was a junkyard. And you know what the Hollywood companies do? They come there, they use their props, they spend like $500,000, and then they don't want to take it back. The movie's over. They give it back to the guy. So listen, there's always a way to make money. I don't even want to start with that shit because we'll be here forever. You know?
The power of broke, right? That's
Absolutely.
what it's all about. We understand what it means to get to where we're at today. All right, that's really cool. I'm going to answer your question, Damon, about Pinterest. We have been testing Pinterest ads recently, and I can tell you that it's still a very heavily female-centered platform, but it's an absolute powerhouse for e-commerce brands. If you have beauty lines, clothing lines, designing, we've been putting a lot of content. We have a lot of clients that we have gotten them on Pinterest, and there's a lot of organic growth in the platform. So like what we were getting on Facebook maybe 5, 6, 8 years ago, Pinterest is more on that algorithm right now that is flowing a lot of power to organic content brand. So if you guys want to have an opportunity, there's opportunities within opportunities. I mean, Damon, I've been seeing you a lot recently on Clubhouse. That's a massive opportunity right there. It's a brand new platform, right? So there's that, and then there's Pinterest is hot right now. Definitely you want to jump on that opportunity right there. Facebook and Instagram are advertising machines. You can do great content on Facebook and Instagram and get a lot of attention and build audiences like no other place. But organically, you're going to struggle to grow as much as you can on Clubhouse or on Pinterest or on TikTok or on all these other guys that are more like just getting started on that particular process that Facebook already went through themselves.
Right. So I love all the information. I really appreciate you, man. We got to do this again. You know what? I wish I could do this with you every month to start talking about other stuff, like whether it's Clubhouse, whether it's Pinterest, and break those things down. A lot of people say, yeah, Pinterest is a heavily operated women's platform. A lot of women go to that. But if you really look at the data, women buy 10 times to every one time a man buys, and women also are the ones who dictate where purchasing generally goes. And I love telling the story of the car industry, who used to only make muscle cars and those kind of cars because they were trying to go to the guy, because they were like in the 60s and 70s, they were like the guys are the buyers of the cars, right? So of course we're going to make all these cars to sell to the guys, when they realize that, wait a minute. 90% of the purchase of a car is because of a woman, because either a woman says, I need this for the home, right? So she dictates what she needs for the home, or she says to the guy, I really like that car. That's the kind of car that I would really love to see you in, or when you pulled up with that car. So even though it was the guy who was the supposedly the end user, well, I ain't buying that car if the hot woman I likes that car.
100%.
Right. So a lot of people need to understand, when they look at things, don't look at it just from, oh, well, this is this type platform for this reason. You could be selling workout. Like I give you an example. My wife and I were buying something the other day that primarily I'm going to use, but I said to her, because I know that she's always doing this, always online, always looking at stuff. I said, babe, tell me the best one. Tell me what to buy. And it's a very man oriented product. She was like, I got you. I'm telling you, the damn box was at my door that evening when it would have taken me 2 months to do it, right? So, so anyway, I say all that to say that there's so many different ways to break down these things. So I appreciate you, man. Tell everybody, what do we got? What we got here? What is the site that what is the to hit to check out the product that you and I are putting together to make sure that people can get this value in detail, with the breadcrumbs are put step by step by step by step, and they can save a lot of time. Even if they think they got value here, they can't even imagine what they're going to get off the Shark AGM collabo. Tell everybody where they can find it.
Absolutely. So guys, look, we're really into helping a lot of people in 2021. We really want to help any of you that are ready to take your game to the next level. We have the system set up for that. We've done it. One thing that I like to say is that I like to first walk things and then talk about them. So whatever you guys get with Shark AGM is things that are proven strategies that are going to help you take your game to the next level. One thing that I like to say in all my videos and all my content, Daymond, is that we don't need to be creating opportunities. We need to be writing opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities out there. You step in front of them, because those opportunities are going to happen with or without you. It's a matter of you deciding to jump on that opportunity. I like to call it riding a wave. So there's plenty of these opportunities. If you guys want to find out if we can help you at AGM, not everybody qualifies for this because you have to have a certain income on your existing business. We're going to help you run the show for you from top to bottom, strategies, and get things executed for your brand, and run your ads and report on your revenue and your income. I mean, we have a lot of power in this group right here. You guys can go check out, or you're going to get a survey done. You go to sharkagm.com, and that's going to lead you into a page. It's going to give you a little bit more information from Daymond and from myself. You're going to fill out a survey, and then we're going to reach out to you and have a meeting to see if we can help you accomplish your business goals in 2021 and ride the waves, because there's a lot of them that you can take advantage of right now.
Yeah, and I just pinned it again, I think, up there. So, man, I appreciate you, man. We got to do this again. I'm going to bring somebody else on really quick. But thank you so much. And listen, stick around for my man who's going to come on here. And we'll just take it from there. But thank you for all the knowledge, and we're going to do this again.
Thanks, Daymond. Thanks for having me, man.
You got it, brother.
All right, bye-bye.
All right. Hope everybody learned some stuff. I'm going to bring up Benefit. There he goes. Now, Benefit CEO. Let me see. Make sure I got him. All right. Because we're running a little. I started 10 minutes late. And
what's going on,
what's
Daymond?
up, man?
How are you?
How you doing?
Living the dream.
I'm living the dream, brother. I mean, I am a little depressed that Kanye and Kim still have not gotten back together, but that's a whole nother story. Let me let me go through your back. So I normally don't read a background when somebody's there, but I wanted to make sure that sometimes I don't catch the person when they're waiting. So first of all, 12 years in the Oklahoma Air National Guard. Thank you so much for your service, as I've said to you many times, and I will never stop saying to you. And the CEO of Benefit Medical Apparel. You worked in a pharmacy in the pharmacy field, and was also a personal trainer. luckily. And our relationship, you saw me on Shark Tank, you read my books, and thank God you did, and then decided to take my Daymond on Demand course and to help benefit. And then you went on to enter and win the Bob Evans Heroes to CEOs competition. That's the first time that I, got to actually meet you in person.
For sure.
And I had an honor and the ability to mentor you for a little bit. Basically, you can tell people about your brand and product, but I mean, I can tell them right now it's scrubs that are super comfortable. They look like they're performance based. You look cool in them.
That's
actually.
Right.
It's almost like the Puma stuff I'm wearing right now.
It is. It's like workout gear,
but it's scrubs.
For sure.
Yes, it's like workout gear. So you got the men and women on the front lines and working with people can feel fit, form fitting. Also, it does all the things that scrubs are supposed to do or supposed to prevent. So tell me more about them, man.
Exactly. So, I started the company back when I was in pharmacy school, worked in a pharmacy, used to have to wear scrubs, and they were just god-awful, super baggy. The fabric was just super cheap. And I was just like, surely there's got to be like better fitting, higher quality, because you got to think with healthcare professionals, especially like now more than ever, we got to appreciate them because everything they're doing with everything going on. It's like they need a uniform that they want to wear, they feel comfortable in, they feel confident in, and that they look good and they feel good. Because if you look good, if you're wearing like a nice tailored suit, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel confident, you're going to be the best version of yourself, right? So that was my whole mindset. Like, why do these people, or not only that, they're super highly educated, why are they wearing these rags around to work that are super baggy, super low quality, maybe cost a couple bucks to make? And I'm like, we got to change this. So I started doing my own research, couldn't find anything. So I was like, whatever, I don't know anything about scrubs or apparel, but I know what I want. So I just started looking at my own workout gear and the stitching, kind of the fabric makeups, the mixtures of them. And then just kind of went around locally, found some fabric, and found an old lady in her apartment that was retired to sew me up a prototype, and then just kind of the rest is history. So it was a crazy experience. That was, like I said, back in 2015, and I didn't have any business background when I started. How I first got introduced to you. I started watching Shark Tank. And I would watch it, and I didn't understand anything that anybody was talking about. I didn't understand like any of the business terms. So what I would do is I'd get a notepad. Anytime you guys would be interviewing somebody in the tank, anytime I didn't know something, I would write it down and I would start Googling it, and I would educate myself. So that was my business 101 class. I watched Shark Tank for about a year, all in like 2015. Taught myself really the infrastructure of what mattered in a business in terms of like numbers, sales, customer lifetime value, stuff like that. And based on what you guys were asking. And I was like, all right, surely, if they're asking all these questions, this kind of stuff matters in terms of building a business. So that was my MBA, was watching Shark Tank for about a year and teaching myself.
You know what I think, and I love that you say that, and I appreciate that, because you look at like people like Barbara still have not learned from being on Shark Tank. Barbara just doesn't know much, but I think that one of the good points you bring up is, listen, if they're asking these questions, it must be important in building a business, right? So that's great. Somebody in here did say something that was really great. It said the Lululemon I think it said the Lululemon of health or something like that. Your brand has been known to be like that, but even after you started in 2015, you still went and you applied for different grants and different competitions like the Bob Evans Heroes to CEOs. Why did you keep doing that? Because a lot of people, I notice two types of entrepreneurs. There are either entrepreneurs out there, they never stop pitching. They never stop applying for things. They look at all these other things. Even like the kid Scully, we did a deal with, Lori and I did a deal with. He went out and still won another $300,000 or $400,000 worth of grants after he was on Shark Tank and things like that. But then I notice other, business people who go, well, let me go get a loan. Let me give a portion of my company. When there's plenty of money out there, you can do both at the same time. Why did you decide to keep knocking on doors and keep trying to get grants simultaneously while building your business, which is absolutely brilliant?
Well, there's a couple reasons. It kind of goes back to your philosophy of the power of broke. Like, people don't understand there's so many resources out there, but people aren't willing to actually go out and find them. So not only that, but the networking opportunities. Like, I wouldn't even be here talking to you on an Instagram Live if I didn't go out, find that, do the due diligence, actually submit it, take the chance. a lot of people, they don't realize really what they have, their potential. Like, so many people don't tap into their full potential and what they're really capable of, just because whether it's a fear, or if it's fear of failing, or if it's
I'm thinking that, then this is the first time I'm thinking that, do you think they're afraid they're not confident enough in their product, so they say, well, I don't want to stand on stage and potentially get free money or networking, or at least fix my pitch because I'm going up against the best in the room.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go and borrow and mortgage my children's, college fund, and I'm still afraid, and put out half-ass advertising or inferior product, or just take a whole bunch of shots in the dark. That's something I never really thought of. Yeah.
So from my personal experience in my journey, I've seen it just makes people more comfortable and not makes them as scrappy, I guess, and not as resourceful. So it kind of goes back. I mean, to keep referencing the kind of the power of broke mentality, but like if you've given $1 million to launch a company, and you're like, okay, well, let's just take the easiest path possible because we have all this money to throw on all these routes, versus if you start with nothing and you start a company and you're like, okay, there's a way to do this. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I mean, I launched my company with nothing, and actually one of the concepts out of your book, last time we talked, it was about how that guy did pre-orders to launch his company. Is almost like his own type of crowdsourcing. So I didn't raise any capital for my company. We just had a concept, kind of learned social media, built organic channels, built a bunch of hype around it, and then once we were ready to launch, we opened up a pre-order, gave the people that wanted to pre-order exclusive benefits like a discount, free swag, stuff like that. They were first to get it, so it hit on the exclusivity bias for them. They were happy because they got it free, and they funded our whole first production run. And we just did that 3 or 4 times without having to go out to a bank loan, without having to do anything. We just had an Instagram, some hype, about 10 pictures, a website that I built that was a piece of crap that I don't even know how it ran. And I mean, that's just how we launched. And it wasn't perfect, but you don't have to be perfect to start. So many people are just scared to start because they think, oh, it's not the right time. It's not the right time. It's like, it's never going to be perfect time. So
Absolutely. I mean, think about it. If everybody right now really dug deep in their soul and somebody said, I'm going to give you $1 million to open a business, most likely the first thing they would do is think of the office they're going to get.
That's right.
Then maybe the secretary, and of course, or the assistant. Then they're going to get the equipment in the office. And wait a minute, if I'm going to look cool about the company and I got $1 million, I mean, I need a better car. More than likely, I need a better car. And then I got to furnish the place. They haven't even started the business yet, Oh, of course, I can't come out. I mean, I can't come out with a crappy website. I mean, I got to get a good website.
It's got to be premium.
Oh, absolutely. And I may not know social media well, so I need to get a social media person. Oh, shit, wait a minute. I didn't even sell anything yet. I didn't even make anything yet.
It adds up quick. People don't realize that when they start taking the easy route and start writing checks, it piles up. When you're starting a company, there's so many things that pile up that people don't think about. And it's just like, I mean, still to this day, it's like ding, 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 ding. It just all adds up. And you're like, holy crap, I'm throwing a bunch of money. But it goes back to you have to spend money to make money. But if you do it the right way.
And we didn't even mention the office it's a lease for 3 years.
That's right. I know you're tied into it. So to point on that, we didn't quite go the luxury route because obviously we didn't have any money. So we launched out of a 1-car storage garage with 1 computer, a printer, a label maker, and 3 clothing racks that held our first 3 styles of scrubs. We had like 60 sets or something.
So tell us where you're at now. How many styles you got? Obviously, a lot of stuff going on in the world where, your product way before this happened is probably in more demand. How are you either keeping up with the demand or just saying, you know what, I got to go slow and steady to win the race? How are you selling? Are you selling to individuals and to companies, corporations, hospitals? Just give us the whole shebang.
So whenever we launched back in 2016, because we had kind of learned social media and built a decent platform before we even went to market, within 30 days, we already sold in all 50 states, and it just kind of blew up from there. And so we're like, okay, people do want this product. People do want cool scrubs. So it allows us to grow really quick, but everything that we were making, we weren't buying those luxury cars. We weren't furnishing the offices. We were just putting it right back into the business. A lot of people, they start to see dollar bills come in quick and they're like, okay, now I'm in the big leagues now. It's like, we were just 3 or 4 months in. There was no way. Like, we have to keep investing every single thing that we make to scale properly. More inventory, hire a couple people that are necessities to growing the company and scaling properly. But yeah, we're not in a storage garage anymore. We have a big warehouse. We handle all the distribution ourselves here in Oklahoma. One of the things I wanted to learn was, okay, kind of how you tapped on earlier. A lot of people in the beginning, they want to hire specialists. Well, for me, kind of not actually learned this from watching Shark Tank too. Like, I wanted to know how everything worked, at least at a small level. So I knew kind of what to expect, and I knew when I hired somebody kind of what they should be doing. At least to a minimum level. So we handle all our own distribution. We get all the products in from all the manufacturers, and I wanted a super high level of customer service as well. So we're selling online, benefitmedical.com. We're handling all exchanges, all returns, because people want to try stuff on. They're going to order 4 or 5 different sizes, try them all on, see which ones they like best, and the rest back. So we wanted super high level of customer service.
Oh, I never thought of that. That's a problem. It could have been a problem because generally scrubs fit. There's a standard scrub.
We had to educate our entire industry.
Yeah, yours are a little closer to the body, and we all know our women customers. If they don't know your brand,
Sure.
they don't know how they're feeling at that moment. They'll order a size 10.
Exactly.
And a size 12 and maybe a size 14, then they'll figure out which one makes their hiney look the best, and they'll send back the other 2 because they're not sure how they're feeling at that, so a lot of inventory coming back in.
So we thought about that, and we're like, well, we need to make sure we're educating our customers as much as possible on our products, because it is a new concept. It's not baggy. It's not a trash bag. It's a better fitting uniform, kind of like your workout gear. And so we wanted to do that just so people feel more comfortable when they're ordering online. And whenever you're doing that, especially with clothing, you have to offer free exchanges, because it's going to happen. Like, people are going to get something. They may order a medium from Nike, but they may be a smaller medium in yours, and they just don't know until they try it.
Do you do that? Do you do that scheduling of saying, hey, if you wear Lululemon, here is the accurate sizing of ours. If it's Nike, if it's whoever the case is, do you do that so they can at least know a size chart and get a better idea?
Yeah, so we have tried that. We're actually retweaking our whole entire size chart. And I want to introduce a sizing calculator to our website where people can go and type in their dimensions, and it's going to give them a size recommendation and then it'll even ask them a question like, hey, do you want a little bit looser? Do you want form-fitted? Like, because everybody's preference is different. Some people want really, really form-fitted. Some people want a little bit looser, but they just don't want that full baggy look.
But don't you think some people don't want to look at it? They want to do the dimension thing?
I don't know. We're not 100% sure on it, but I definitely see that concern with it too.
Because us guys, we don't give a shit about the dimension. We be like, I still look like a medium. When meanwhile, you can't see your belt buckle. You know what I mean? So,
definitely see that.
Well, listen, brother. Where can we find you? It's benefitmedical.com.
Yeah, benefitmedical.com is our website. You can go shop there, learn about more of our products, or follow us on social media, learn about us. We like to say we're a digital marketing company that is really good at customer service, and we just happen to sell scrubs. So basically applying all those principles to a really good product, and that's how we became so successful.
You're very good, man. Again, thank you for your service, and thank you for being dedicated and doing it the right way, and being able to basically bring resources to your community, to your family. And of course, I mean, you were thinking about the frontline workers way before so many other people, where it became, we need to understand how much we need to value them. So thank you for all that, brother.
Hey, man, I appreciate your time. I know it's super valuable. Appreciate you taking the time to chat with me and all the influence you've had on my personal journey. And anybody else that's watching, hope they learn something.
Got it, brother. Thank you.
Take it easy, buddy. Have a good day.
Yeah. There you have it. 2 really great people to learn from. first manual and understanding how to just utilize social media to your advantage and all these crazy platforms that are coming out from, Twitch to Pinterest to now WhatsApp, LinkedIn. I know it can be daunting, but you gotta learn some of them. You don't try to learn all of them. Learn the basics to one or two of them if you don't already know, and then you'll be able to translate that information and or that knowledge over to what other new platforms are and benefit the CEO. Thank you so much for showing people how to still use the power of broke and brought up some good thoughts. In my mind of, what would you do with $1 million? Just really think about it, because I hope every single person here is going to have some kind of windfall of resources and money. And make sure you just think about that conversation, and don't make those traditional mistakes that a lot of people make, which I understand why people make them, but think more ahead of time on what you could be doing with the funding, because financial intelligence is extremely important. All right, everybody, I will see you next Monday for Power Shift Your Week, and next Tuesday for Power Talks, and hopefully I'll pop on in the middle. All right, everybody. Well, love you guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.